Okay, Lorne, I've gone ahead and turned the recorder on, so we'll have a record of this.
Okay.
So you be copacetic with me, I'll be copacetic with you. Go ahead and start. All right, so here we are with Lorne Armstrong, who reached out to me, brother Josh, as well. And we're going to ask him some questions. So, Lorne Armstrong, first of all, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm doing good. All right. So I'm gonna juggle these questions around a little bit. What did the 20014 stand for in your screen name?
20014. That was actually, well, my screen name started out as 2001, and it got stolen. So I decided to go 2011, and that got stolen. So I went with 2001-2, and that got stolen. And 2001-3, and then finally 2001-4.
So they were stolen, as in somebody hacked your account, or?
Yeah, somebody hacked my account and took my name.
And how did you find that out? Did you log in and how did you find that out?
I couldn't log in.
Ah, okay. So they changed your password then?
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with telling us what your password was at the time?
Well, I would be comfortable if I remembered.
All right, fair enough.
I think it was my dog's button fee. Well, no, it wasn't my dog.
Wasn't it printer?
No.
Where was the print? What was that? What? Help me out. I suck at my holy readings. So, where did wasn't printer a password somewhere?
Nope.
No.
I don't know. Might have been. I don't know. I don't remember. It seems like it was Bud.
Yeah.
Bud. I don't know. Some numbers behind it or something. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Anyone who's listening and has a better, firmer grasp on the holy Lornography, I'm sure they could clarify that point, whether printer was a password somewhere or not. Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. Good. Well, thank you, Lorne. Anything you want to add to that answer there?
Nope.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. So we have somebody else who asks, would it be possible to order your book and have you sign it?
If you send it to me with the return postage in a large cardboard envelope, I'll sign it in the bag. But you want to be sure that when you order the book, that you get a physical copy. If you order it from ondemandbooks.com, you won't get a physical copy because it's like an ebook type of copy.
Okay.
To get a physical copy, either go to any Barnes & Noble or Books and Main store or any store with an espresso book machine.
Those are the EBM machines, right? EBM?
That's the EBM, EBM machine.
BM, okay.
That machine actually makes the book right there for you.
Oh, good.
Or you can order it over the phone, too, and they'll send it to you in the mail.
Or you can also, thebooks.amillion.com is where I purchased my copy.
Right.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Good. And that's not instantaneous, by the way. So any of you who are very anxious to touch Lorne's book, the best way to get it right there and have it there with you right now is to order it from one of the espresso book machines, right?
Right.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's move on then. At what moment, and this is a question that was asked by multiple people even before you offered to do a Q&A, at what moment during the entire sting did you come closest to becoming suspicious and just walking away from it?
I'm going to pass on that question for now.
Okay.
You can ask further down the road now. I might answer it then, but for right now, I'm going to pass on that question.
Okay. Would you be comfortable with telling us who you thought Chris Hansen was when he first appeared into the room?
Either a father or a cop.
Ah, okay.
Let me ask you this in a more general sense. At any point during the whole thing, did you at all become suspicious? Not necessarily at what point, but just in general, did you become suspicious?
That's actually kind of the same question that I was just going to pass on.
All right. Okay, no problem.
All right, fair enough. So,
Okay.
go ahead. Did you have something else to add?
Just people need to be patient.
Okay, honey. And one of the questions that I thought was a fun question was, why didn't your buggy Mexican neighbors get their own teléfono? Why were they always borrowing yours?
Because they couldn't afford it.
Do you know what they did for? Did they work, or do you know any of that?
Yeah,
Or,
one of them, the guy worked, but they had a baby on the way.
oh, okay. Do you know what he did? Do you remember what he did?
All I can remember is construction. I can't remember what kind of construction.
What did you just I don't know if this is a question that's on the that's coming up, but I did what did you think of those apartments? Were those okay apartments to live in? Were they dirty? Were they decent? Like, was the area okay? Like, what did you think? Well, how did you like living in those apartments?
It was all right living in them. I didn't have a problem with living in them. So, but I also the only ones I ever had anything to do with was my neighbors right across the hall.
Mm.
So it's like I never talked to anybody else in the apartment other than
Than
at
them.
the office or
Yeah.
or my neighbors.
Did you were there? And this is another one. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is on tap yet or not. But did you where did you go do your karaoke? How close was it to the apartment?
That's actually another question that somebody else had asked too. It's Buckwild Saloon. It's actually right across from Crazy Horse Saloon.
Do those places still exist? Do you know?
Oh yeah.
Did they have a mechanical bull?
Not in Buckwild Saloon, they didn't. And I don't know. Actually, they didn't have one in Crazy Horse Saloon either. Crazy Horse Saloon was actually that used to be on TV. They used to have a dance show on TV that it was actually placed at Crazy Horse Saloon, and famous singers would go there and sing. And
Is this the place? I'm on Google Maps. Is this place on downtown Nashville, like right off Broadway?
Yep, Second Street.
Second, yeah,
Street,
there,
yep.
there it is, right there, Buckwild Saloon.
Or Second Ave.
Yeah, Second Avenue. Oh, interesting.
Great. Lorne, do you like to dance? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, how far was that from? How far of a drive was that from where you lived?
No, maybe 6 miles, maybe 6 or 7 miles,
All right.
8 miles, somewhere around there.
All right.
Did you go to any that were within walking distance to your apartment?
No, I lived on almost the outskirts of Nashville.
Ah. Okay. All right. Oh, and then there was another question. You were talking about dancing, the dance show. Do you like to dance?
Yeah, slow dances.
You can. Oh, that's nice. By yourself?
If I'm dancing a slow dance by myself, I've got issues.
You need a precious little princess, right, to dance with you.
Anyway.
Yeah, right.
Well, okay. Another one is when you're talking in your videos, you sometimes refer to yourself as, I guess, a couple with somebody else. You say we a few times. Are you in a relationship, or are you referring to a roommate?
No, I'm referring to my dog, Roscoe.
Ah, okay.
I've had Roscoe for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years, I think.
How old was Roscoe when you got Roscoe?
6 months.
Okay, and he was hairless. He had no hairs anywhere.
Yeah, he had hair when I got him. When the Humane Society got him, he didn't have any hair at all.
He has a full coat now, as we can see. He looks like a big bear. He is a beautiful dog. Even people who had not so nice things to say about your video agree that Roscoe is a big, beautiful bear of a dog. Do you get a lot of attention when you bring him out?
I do, but I don't bring him out that often to the public where nobody that hasn't seen him before.
Yeah. I have a question to follow up. it isn't necessarily about your dogs now, but there are individuals who steadfastly maintain that you were a horrible, neglectful animal owner because you left Bud at the apartment when you took off to go to the house. And then, there was a lot of conjecture what happened to Bud after. But what would you say to those people who are like, well, he's a shitty animal owner. He neglected his dog, leaving him so he could go do this. Tell people, if you don't mind, correct that. Let them know how well you treated Bud and how good a care you took care of Bud.
I sold my truck so that Bud would die.
Can you explain that a little more? That sounds confusing.
So, all right, well, when this all happened, I had contacted a family member, and they gave me the option of either I keep my truck or sell my truck and get Bud out. And so I told them to sell my truck and get Bud out of there. And so my truck, I don't know who bought my truck, but...
So you traded your truck?
But, yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't trade it. I sold it. They sold it for me so that I could pay the person back for fronting the money to go down and get Bud.
Okay.
And then he went to my sister's, and she found a good home for him.
Do you regret doing that?
No, God, no.
Do you know if Bud is still alive? I guess if he was, he'd be really, really, really old now. But do you know if he's still alive?
No, I don't know. And I have intentionally tried not to find out because it's right now I get getting emotional about Bud. So
Yeah.
I think that and I think
move on to a different question.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lorne. Sorry we went there. It's a lot of us are dog owners too, and I own a dog and some other pets. I own a snake and cats, and I would also be very upset if I had to answer questions like that. So let me ask you something. You had a MySpace page in which you listed a Camilla or Camila as someone you admired or you'd like to meet, and you thought of positively. We're curious, or the question, person who posed the question is curious as to who Camilla is.
I have no idea. I haven't had a MySpace page since 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. So if there was a MySpace page up in my name, somebody else made it.
But you were actively referring to your MySpace. You were actively referring to your MySpace in the chat with the decoy as if it was an active page and that you were messaging back and forth on it. Are you saying that maybe the MySpace page that they're referring to is not really yours then?
Huh. I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
I don't remember. Evidently, if I did have one, I don't remember it. So it must not have been that important. But I don't remember anybody by the name of Camilla, so...
Okay, all right. This is a fun question. What did you spend your money on in a commissary?
In commissary, I tried to buy as much health food as I could. Tuna fish and crackers and whatever healthier food I could find, but it wasn't much of an option with health food. It was mostly fattening stuff. What
was some of the fattening stuff that you indulged in?
Oh, usually Nutty Buddies or Star Crunch, oatmeal, cream-filled oatmeal things.
Any ramen noodles?
Yeah, but I stopped eating them fast because they have a lot of fat in them.
A follow-up question.
Calories or
sodium, a lot of sodium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
I spent a lot of money, most of my money on stamps and coffee. It was actually most of what I spent my money on.
Oh, okay.
Were you allowed to smoke in prison?
No.
Oh. That must have sucked. I can tell you as a smoker. If I all of a sudden had to quit smoking on the fly like that, that would be difficult. Did they give you any kind of when you, because obviously they probably asked you a whole bunch of questions when you got like processed in, and they probably asked you if you smoked or something, or if you did drugs or alcohol. Did they give you any kind of like Nicorette gum or like patches or any kind of shit like that to, help you?
Nope.
Nope. Just screw you.
Nope.
You're not smoking.
Yep. Never even asked me if I smoked.
Oh, wow.
There was one person that I was able to smoke in, but I was only there for a little over a year, and then I moved into federal custody.
So that was when you were in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Will you write a song for somebody? Somebody asked specifically, will you write me a song, Lorne? I'm sorry. And then what would your response to that be?
Oh, yeah, yes, I will. But that's the only answer I'm going to give for right now. Yes, I will, but not until I do some talking with some people.
Okay, how about a poem?
A poem I will too.
Okay,
Poem
because you're a pretty prolific chatter, but also a poet.
Yeah.
Okay. How much spare time did you have while you were incarcerated? I'm sure it was a lot. And how did you fill it up?
Actually, I didn't have much spare time because I kept myself busy.
Okay.
I usually, whatever spare time I did have, I used it up exercising or writing books or starting to write books, and I always found something to do, because if not, I would go myself nuts, and I didn't want to just hang around with people.
Did you have a job?
I did. There was a different job in every prison that I went to, but they don't pay very much. I think it was like 25 cents a day or something like that. There were different pays for each job.
So if you didn't like your job, would you be able to quit your job?
My job?
Don't make fun of my accent.
Yeah, okay. Smart ass.
I mean, were things a lot better after you quit your job?
I wouldn't quit a job without having another one to go to.
So with some of the stuff you did, with you, like some of the jobs you had, like what were some of the jobs you had when you were locked up?
Oh, sweeping the floor, sweeping the hallway floor, cleaning the bathroom, waste, take care of trash, stuff like that. I never did trash. That's one of the jobs there. There's actually all kinds of jobs that they have to choose from, but most of them are already taken when you get there, and you have to pick and choose what jobs you usually want, or whatever jobs you can do that you like, that you have a choice to do.
So you did have a choice then, yeah. Were there any jobs that you refused to do that you just weren't able? You couldn't see yourself doing them?
No, it didn't matter to me what job I did.
Okay, all right.
I think I cleaned the bathroom once, too.
Okay, all right. Another question not having to do with your experience in prison was, somebody wanted to know if you had ever been abroad, if you'd been to the UK at all.
No.
Where have you traveled?
The furthest I've been has been Alaska. I was stationed at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska when I was in the Air Force.
Oh, can you tell us about that? That's very interesting.
It was cold.
Is it colder
What more do
than
you need to
Maine?
know? It is colder than Maine, and actually in Anchorage it's actually about the same as Maine.
Anchorage actually is quite temperate, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that where you were stationed, Lorne?
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you do in the Air Force?
I was a refueler truck mechanic. Like mechanic for the refueler trucks that refuel the airplanes.
Oh, okay. So you worked on the trucks that
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Gotcha.
Right.
All right. Did you like your time serving in the Air Force?
Well, I did like it, but I liked it too much.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Can you elaborate?
No, I can't.
You can't? Oh.
I can, but I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you something that's not related to that. Why did you show your dogs in your apology video?
Because people have been asking to see them.
Okay.
So that's why I showed them.
All right. Anything else to add to that?
No.
Well, in prison, you just told us how you were. There were some times that you were allowed to smoke, but for most of the part, you weren't allowed, and you didn't anyway. Have you started smoking again?
Yes, but I'm trying to quit because I don't want to disappoint people, and especially being in the spotlight, I don't want people to pick up smoking just because I say that I do. It's a stupid thing to start.
So you see yourself as a potential role model then?
Yeah, an unexpected potential role model.
I see.
Yeah, listen up, kids. Don't, just because Lorne does it doesn't mean you should do it. Don't smoke. It's a bad idea.
Right.
Just because Lorne does it.
Not just kids, adults too.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for adults who are also struggling to stop smoking?
Don't quit. Nope. Don't quit trying to stop.
Okay.
Don't quit quitting. Once you quit quitting, it's harder to even get it in your head to quit.
Have you tried to quit unsuccessfully?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long have you been smoking for?
What
What age did you start smoking?
I was 19 when I started.
Oh man! All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
What brand? There also is. This wasn't part of the official questions, but I've read people taking guesses as to what your brand of cigarettes are that you like.
Marlboro Ultralight 100s.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm ultralight.
Fat-free cigarettes.
Marlboro Ultralight 100s. Interesting. Is
Those
that
are the gold?
Those are lights. The silver's the ultralights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Do you ever go for the generic brand when it's when the funds are low?
Yep.
All right, you're just like one of us, Lorne. Amazing. Can you tell me, did you have any crushes or girlfriends when you were in middle school or high school?
Yes, I did. That's as far as I'm going to that.
Really? Did you ever have a crush on somebody who it was an unrequited crush and you had to kind of go through the rejection in high school, or did you have anybody you wanted because you were the man?
No. I had crushes and I had girlfriends, but next question.
Everybody wants to know about your romantic life. You kind of brushed over the question about when you were referring to if you were in a relationship. You said no, you were referring to your dog. Is there a special lady in your life right now?
There's someone I'm interested in, but that's as far as I've got right now.
Really? Does she play Does she play a guitar like you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
That would be funny if it turned out she played like bass or something. You could start a band.
Oh yes, Lorne, you could be the singer and the strummer, and she could be the bassist. Nathaniel could be the drummer.
She tries to play instruments.
Like what?
Like whatever she can.
Oh, okay. All right. So if
I do have to be private about some things here.
I know. Well, can you tell me what What do you look for when you're trying to size up somebody to be in a relationship with? Is there anything in particular that you would not tolerate?
Dishonesty. That's my biggest thing is dishonesty.
Is there a body type that you'd feel comfortable with sharing us your preference? Would you turn down a big girl?
No comment on that question.
Really?
I am not commenting on it.
You're making a lot of Lane Bryant shoppers really sad right now.
I'm just leaving it to be curious.
Okay, honey. So can you tell me what was your life like once you were released from prison and you got out? That must have been crazy, being thrown back into the world after being behind bars for so long. Can you tell us about what that was like?
It was difficult for me to go out. I had to be pushed.
To go out, like leave your home, or to go out and have fun?
Yeah, to even go to Walmart, I had to be pushed.
So somebody literally
tricked.
How did you get tricked? And you can just say, okay. I was going to say, if you ever want to talk about somebody without identifying them, you can use the word friend or family member or someone. You don't have to compromise anybody else's privacy.
I'll just say that it's not that I'm not passing on that question to not let people know. It's just okay. I told her we were going to go to one place and want to go to Walmart.
And did you get off the car?
I did.
Was that experience as scary as you were anticipating?
It was a little more so.
Okay.
Can you talk about the first day you got out? So you were in Fort Dix, New Jersey, right? And and then they handed you a box of shit and gave you all your belongings back and opened the door and said, off you go. Can you tell us what you did that day?
What I did that day was get on the bus and go home.
Did you stop at like McDonald's or anything and because a lot of people who get locked up and you ask them questions like, oh, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get out? I'm going to get McDonald's. I'm going to go have, pizza or, like go eat something that you can't get when you're inside. Like, did you do anything like that or was it just bus station?
Yeah,
back to Maine?
I got a pack of cigarettes.
The first thing you did, went up to the store, got a pack of smokes and jumped on the bus and back up to Maine you went.
Yep.
And when you got back to Maine, where were you staying? Were you staying at your mom's or did you have somewhere else lined up?
I had somewhere else lined up. I was actually taking care of my uncle that had dementia, and until we put him in the nursing home.
So you were a care provider then,
yeah,
for a family member. Okay.
Yep.
No, I don't mean to harp back on the thing, but there was one thing I was kind of curious about. Never having been locked up myself, I just out of curiosity, like when you're in prison or in like a penitentiary, what's the shower situation like? Did you ever have any issues there, or was it just like everyone just nothing like that? No, don't drop the soap, nothing like that.
No, you don't need soap on the road. No, there's different stalls for the showers. One prison, there was actually one bathroom with one shower, and that was for like 50 different people. And so the other ones, there were stalls for the showers.
Okay.
So there wasn't, I never heard of any of the things that people say happen in prison.
Yeah, because a lot of
the security there is actually pretty good security.
Yeah. The one thing I've read and other folks I've talked to who have been incarcerated, they say usually the people who find themselves in those sorts of situations, it's not because they're just getting preyed upon. It's usually because they owed someone a debt or they did something they shouldn't have done. Yeah. They got themselves into that situation. So you basically by you saying this makes me believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but you pretty much kept your head down. You didn't get into debt with anyone. You just sort of
Yeah, I never got in debt with anyone.
and got wrapped up in dumb shit like that.
Yeah, when usually when people do get in debt, it's they're not taken advantage of like in that way, in a sexual way. They're either if anything, they get beat up.
Right. Did you ever get into any fights when you were in there, or like do you hear stories about like, oh, you know, first time you get off the bus, you know, you gotta find the biggest guy and start a fight with them, and then no one will fuck with you. Did you have any fight situations or anything?
No, I had one fight that I got in because somebody smacked me in the rear end with a flip
With a what? Oh,
with a flip flop.
So they slapped you on the ass with a flip flop.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Your bare ass, Lorne? The butt that we all know so well? Okay.
No, easy with the punches there, girl.
Yeah. So, like, why did he do that? Did he do it because he knew what you were in there for, or was it just?
No, he was. Him and I were actually got along really well. He was just trying to be a smart ass.
Yeah, but in that environment, you can't do shit like that,
Yeah, he didn't really realize exactly how much it stung. So when he did it the second time, I get irritated.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Fuck, I had another question lined. No, sorry. Anyway, go ahead. Oh, yeah, prison gangs. Was there like a lot of prison gang stuff going on, or is that just kind of overhyped TV stuff as well?
But there wasn't at the prisons that I was at. There wasn't.
All right.
See, I was more in medium prison. In the high risk prisons, there are prison gangs and all that stuff. In mediums, you don't find the gangs normally. You don't find the gangs.
So you didn't have to you didn't have to go join the Aryan Brotherhood just to survive your time in prison or anything like that.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Did anybody try to recruit you because you were so buff?
No. No, I kept them to myself. Pretty much everybody left me alone. I just kept to myself. And I didn't try to start crap with anybody. Didn't find any need to argue with anybody about anything stupid. That's usually what most of the arguments started, was about something stupid. And somebody took somebody else's candy bar or something like that. I figured if I'm away from it all, they can't accuse me, and I don't get involved in it.
Okay.
People were actually pretty nice to me because I didn't go around starting problems.
Okay, another question here about that experience, and I promise we'll move away from that. There are a lot of other questions, but we're pretty anxious to know if you saw Dustin McFetridge at all. I
saw him 2 or 3 times.
Okay, and then the person, I don't want to say his name, but the person who we all know as Lurch. Everybody has so many questions about him, and when you and I first spoke, you actually let me know that you had a little bit of experience and information about him, but you didn't know how much of it you were comfortable with releasing. Were you friends with Lurch?
No.
But could you tell us anything about him?
No. I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
He makes enough of a fool out of himself. I don't need help on that one.
Well, can you tell what did he do to make a fool out of himself?
Besides jump out of the chair and try to hug the decoy.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that because I don't really find it my position to degrade anybody any more than what they've already degraded themselves, especially after what I've been through.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right. Well, where do you work out, Lorne? You look like you look jacked as fuck. Where do you go get those muscles at? Do you work out at home, or you have a gym, or what do you do?
No, they sell them at Target.
They sell your muscles at Target? I knew it was
Yep.
a stuffed He-Man suit.
I work out at home.
What's your routine like?
Usually it's anything and everything that I can do to make the workout more intense.
Oh, really?
The harder you work out, the more you feel. How do I want to explain it? The harder you work out, the more you feel it. But the more intense it is, the more it makes you want to work out even more.
So we've all seen your arms. Do you do your legs too?
I do my legs, but not as much as I do my upper body.
Okay.
My legs, I usually it's just a lot of running. I have a bank that I climb up and down, so that gives me a lot of exercise on my legs.
So you're doing guitar videos where we see your physique, your upper body, and I don't know if you did that with a little tiny shirt on purpose, but will you be playing guitar in shorts so we can see your legs?
Maybe this summer.
All right. So let me just ask you one more thing about that. There are people who are asking about your diet and your routine. You said you do anything and everything to work out, but that's pretty vague. What about somebody who's really motivated by your progress with your own body, who wants to replicate that? What would your advice be?
Find a way to work out that you're going to be most comfortable with, and usually at least figure out at least 15 different ways to work out every part of your body.
Wow.
Those different ways works out all the different muscles. And you want to concentrate on all the different muscles, because if you concentrate on just your arms, and you're going to look a little funny with big arms and no chest, or big arms and big stomach. That's the way I can describe it. Work on everything. Don't just concentrate on your arms. That's just comes in time.
Okay. And then what's your diet like, Lorne? Do you still eat bologna when there's no ham?
Yeah, I do.
What else do you attribute any of your success with your physique to your diet at all, or is it just the hard work with the exercise?
I do contribute to my eating, because I eat a lot of fruit. I love fruit, and actually I take cut up fruit and I throw it in a blender and I'll mix that up so I have fruit juice the whole week long, but it's all 100% fruit. And also I make salads that are really good. That helps with the calories. And I eat a lot of protein too.
Do you, as a follow-up to that, you mentioned numerous times in your chat log, you love your mom's pot pies. Do you still get a healthy dose of your mom's pot pies? Number one, it's a two-part question. And then number two, would you ever, or would she ever be willing to reveal her recipe to the curious, those of us who are inclined to cook, and maybe try to replicate that recipe for ourselves?
Yes, I do. Still eat mom's homemade pot pies, and yes, she would. And I have actually already sent the recipe to Ember, and she can put it up whenever she feels the time is right.
Oh,
hey,
thank you.
You never told me you got the recipe. Send me that shit. I'm actually going after we hang up here. I'm going to the grocery store, so I'm actually gonna. I want to make the pot pie. Try to make the pot pie.
Oh, that would be excellent. I would love to have multiple people make the pot pie and kind of upload pictures and share it with Lorne's mom, because I know that she really must take pride in something that her son loves so much. I'd love to be able to submit pictures to see if she thinks that our crust looks good.
I sent pictures to our mom's papa what it's supposed to look like when it's done.
Yes, I do. I do have those pictures from.
Out.
Yeah, that was a while back. But when we were still trying to negotiate the interview, I do have all of that. So I'll be happy with your permission to release that. Of course, with any personal information blocked out as agreed. Would that be all right? That I just share that publicly then? Okay.
Yes.
Great. Let me just ask you one more thing. When did you start working out and why?
When I first got to jail, I started working out because I didn't want to sit around and do nothing, wasting my time away. So that's when I started working out. That's actually when I started writing the book, Taking Abroad, too.
Taken abroad. Okay. All right. What's your favorite exercise? What's something that you don't mind doing because it's fun?
My favorite exercise, I'd have to say probably the ones where I'm working out the back of my. Actually, the one where I'm actually doing push-ups, but I do them with dumbbells. So every time I go down, I lift my right side up with the dumbbell in my hand, and then I go back down, lift the left side up, and I come back up again with my other hand.
Wow. That would be an amazing video to watch if you could record that.
I will think about it.
Okay.
But you also have to have your feet spread apart doing it, or a harder way to do it would be...
You have to spread them out real wide?
Yeah, spread them out real wide so you don't lose your balance, or try it with one foot on top of the other one, crossing the other one, so your only balance is 1 foot.
Okay.
So there was
that's really tough.
There was actually some time ago. There's a fella who made a lot of videos. You know, people are making all these videos about you and stuff. And one of the videos the fella made was called Lorne Armstrong's "Lull Yourself into Shape" program, and it was like a parody of those like 1980s like workout videotapes that you could get.
Yeah.
So you could. It's almost like you could almost make your own video. And be like, no, this is the real Lorne Armstrong lull yourself into shape video. You know, you could show all your different like exercises and stuff. So,
yeah. That I give some thought to it.
Yeah, I think no, seriously,
I didn't expect that.
No, I think honestly, I think some people would actually be curious about what actually you do, what exercise you actually do. And the one you just described, for example, would be a good one. And then, because, I think it'd be a fun idea. I think it'd be a fun thing to try to do one of these times. So, and I'm looking at my,
even if somebody doesn't like working out, even if they only do 10 minutes a day, at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
Lorne, if you were a porn star, what would your name be? Your porn star name?
It wouldn't be, because I wouldn't be a porn star.
Well, we have a lot of names thought up. Lorne Diggler is something that comes to mind.
I have something for those names.
Okay.
Throw them away. It's not going to happen.
What about your stage name as a country singer? Would you take on a pseudonym?
Nope.
You just be Lorne Armstrong. It's good enough for you, huh?
Yep.
Good. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Pretty plain. I don't need anything fancy.
I don't think Lorne is plain at all. Can you tell me why you were named Lorne?
Yeah, it's a Lorne Green. You know the show Bonanza?
Ah, dun 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 dun, Lorne Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. There you go.
All right. Lorne, somebody wanted to know, why are you always clean shaven? They want to know what you look like with a beard.
Because I don't like growing a beard. They itch. And I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it looks on me.
Have you ever rocked a full beard?
Yep.
For how long?
Not very long.
Okay. Well, what about your your interest in the Red Sox, is that something that was just a cool hat, or did you really follow the Boston Red Sox? And do you still watch baseball?
No, I don't watch baseball. I never did watch baseball, but when I do get curious about it, it's the Red Sox that I am following.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
You
It's a red. If I was cheering, actually watching it all the time and cheering for a team, it would be the Red Sox.
Hmm.
Do you have any? I know we're just talking about the Red Sox here, but let's open it up to all the major sports. Do you have any sports teams or any particular sports that you actually do like and you do watch? And if so, like, what sports, what teams besides the Red Sox?
For football, I don't really watch any sports at all anymore, except NASCAR sometimes. But as far as teams go, I like the Chicago Bulls. And as far as football goes, I like New England Patriots.
What do you think about Tom Brady's suspension getting reinstated?
I think
he's a cheater, man. He deflated those footballs. Come on.
Yes.
The evidence.
Yeah, but it was also cold too, and when it's cold, the footballs deflate on their own too.
Wow.
So it's like
Very
there's never a happy
masculine
medium
pigskin.
anywhere. Yeah.
Well, and
There's never a happy medium anywhere, so it's like that's like saying I like fruit and you like bananas, and somebody else likes I like oranges, and we're all going to argue about which one the better one is.
well,
So
sure.
it's like, what's the point in arguing when ain't nobody right anyway?
Yeah, right. I mean, on a related note, so you showed up to the house wearing a Red Sox hat, and we all know about the Red Sox hat. Everyone knows about the Red Sox hat.
I just liked the hat at the time. That's
Yeah.
the reason I wore that all the time.
How old was that hat? I mean, how long had you had that hat before you appeared, before you that day that you showed up to the house? How long had you had that hat for?
Oh, I think I had it for like 6 months. 6 or 7 months.
All right.
Somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly when I bought it.
It looks like the original design. That's probably why, because it just looks like when I tried to get, oh God, this is so embarrassing. When I tried to get a Red Sox hat online that was just like yours, I found that they were not as plentiful as the newer styles, and it was referred to as the classic old style. And then when I received the Red Sox hat that you actually wore in the Sting, I saw that it was beat to death, and now hearing that it was only 6 months old when you got it, it kind of changes my idea, because I thought perhaps you had it as a child or as a teenager, because I mean, dude, that thing looks like it was run over by one of your trucks.
yeah, I'm a little rough on hats.
Yeah.
I've been the bill and working until it's in the shape that I want it, and it kind of wears it out quite a bit.
So what's the deal with it being bent in the middle? I don't understand that style. Is that on purpose, or does it have a function?
Well, they actually make them so that they are bent like that, but I bent mine like that so that way it's shaped to the way I like to wear it. I don't know. Every person is different. I know people that wear hats with the bills are completely straight. And it's like I can't wear it like that because I don't like the looks of it on me like that, and I like a little design to it. So that's why I bend mine to fit what I like.
Interesting. Okay, so that's just your style. It doesn't have a function. There's nothing in Maine that you're being protected from by having your bill bent like that.
No,
Okay.
no, it's just my style.
So, are there any other teams that you said you liked the Bulls, but then you kind of paused on that and went on? Do you watch basketball a lot?
No, I used to when Michael Jordan played, but after Michael Jordan played, I stopped watching.
Let me ask you this: you like Michael Jordan? You watch with Michael Jordan. All right, Michael Jordan 1-on-1 versus Steph Curry. Who wins?
Michael Jordan.
Oh,
Well,
man.
these days I don't know. Michael Jordan's getting older.
Yeah. Well, in their prime, Michael Jordan in his prime, Steph Curry in his prime. Who wins? Michael Jordan?
Mm-mm. Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
There'll never be another Michael Jordan.
So my guess is that let's just rephrase that question. Michael Jordan, his prime. LeBron James, his prime. Who wins?
Michael Jordan.
Man, no love for LeBron. Oh, man.
He was in Space Jam. Come on, Michael Jordan.
All right, let me ask you this. 96 Bulls, 2015, 16, Golden State Warriors. Who wins?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, shit. All right.
Can you tell I'm a Michael Jordan fan?
Lorne, did you ever see any of the movies that Dennis Rodman acted in?
Yeah, I just can't remember the name of it, though. It was some action movie.
Yeah. Who do you think's a better actor, Dennis Rodman or Michael Jordan?
I'd have to say Dennis Rodman on that one.
Yeah, Michael Jordan wasn't a very good actor, was he? I mean, he certainly was better at. He was
better at basketball than he was acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he was better at baseball than he was at acting.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman actually does do a better job acting.
I'm just gonna go ahead and ask another question while Josh is gone. I want to know what got you. This is.
Josh is gone.
Yeah,
my accent isn't that bad.
It's not, but I have to see. I don't know. I think I have
You're trying to get my accent in there, aren't you?
So does somebody from Maine have a different accent from somebody who is from New Jersey?
Oh yeah, just ask them to park the car in the yard.
How would a Mainer say "park the car in the yard"?
Just like I just said, park the car in the yard.
Okay. Lorne, somebody asked how long you've been playing guitar. Can you tell us about that?
I started when I was at Kentucky State Reformatory, the first prison that I was at. Mm-hmm. I got a guitar when I was in there, and my mother sent me a book so I could start learning on it.
What was the first song that you learned on guitar that you felt confident with?
I don't remember. I don't remember that. But, it's a good question. You ask me at a later date. Maybe I'll remember it. So
I'll ask you again. Okay. All right. So, oh my goodness, are you going to do a follow-up Q&A after all this time without talking to us, with me and Josh, and finally reaching out and said, hey, I want to do a Q&A. Will you help me with uploading it? Thank you for reaching out to us for that, by the way. But if there's anything that you neglected to talk about, that you meant to talk about, I'd be happy, with your permission, of course, to do a follow-up Q&A if that's something that you'd be comfortable with.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, all right.
And obviously, there were questions that you said, at a later time, and I know what you're.
Right.
I know what that's in reference to, and I think most folks listening would know what that's in reference to. You've got ongoing, legal proceedings that you're working your way through, so you don't want to potentially say anything that might potentially reflect negatively on you, or perhaps jeopardize, what you've got going on legally. If such point comes that, or if and when, because there is always going to be a when, but if and when the point comes where your legal case is finally disposed of, good, bad, or otherwise, it's finally disposed of, done and over with, would you be comfortable then, at that point down the road, answering some questions, like more detailed questions related to that whole situation? Okay, all right.
Good. So it's not that you're trying to be secretive, or, I mean,
I'm not trying to be,
pretty much an open book.
If I could, I would open up right now and tell everything, because there's a lot to tell. But I'm not at liberty right now to do that.
Understood. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this anyway. I appreciate it. It's something that a lot of people want, whether or not they regard you positively or negatively. It's still something that people on both sides have expressed interest in. So thank you very much for kind of getting out of your comfort zone and doing this. It would be it's appreciated by both sides. So I hope that's not lost on you.
Everybody is welcome.
All right.
I thank everybody for being interested.
Okay, so that's how long you've been playing the guitar. And a question by the same person who posed the first query would be, what got you interested in karaoke, and do you still do karaoke?
I've been doing karaoke since before karaoke became big and popular like it is now.
Oh, you're the hipster
I started,
karaoke.
well, I started doing it when I was in the Air Force. So there was a bar that was outside of the base that had karaoke, and we used to go to that every now and then, do karaoke there.
Uh-huh.
And I don't do it anymore right now, but I will down the road maybe.
So when you did karaoke in the Air Force, what was your favorite jam? What was your favorite song to sing along to?
I like the song "Mandy" by Barry Manilow.
Oh, nice.
I liked the dance by Garth Brooks. I liked 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad by Meatloaf.
Oh my goodness, check you out. Give us more. I'm loving this, Lorne. Come on, give me more.
I liked Making Love Out of Nothing at All by Air Supply.
Wow, okay. I thought you were just a country guy, so this is new information for me. It's very interesting. Are there any other non-country songs that you're
I actually didn't. I didn't start listening to country until I was like 15 years old. So,
okay.
I mean, I did listen to country, but I didn't. I listened to more pop back then than I did country.
Mm.
And so when I started listening to country, it was still a mixture of country and pop.
So then you might have been interested in Prince then.
Yeah, I did like the song "Purple Rain."
How do you feel about his passing? It just happened.
Sad thing. He's too young. It's sad to see somebody taken away so young like that.
Okay, so let's see. I asked you the guitar and the karaoke. We're more than halfway through, Lorne, with all of the questions that you gave me anyway. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay, Lorne, so another question that was asked is, who's your favorite singing artist of all time from any era? And also your favorite group trio of all time, group or trio?
Oh, okay. Country or otherwise, Colin Ray is my top favorite.
Okay.
Of all time. But the others as just solo singers would be Kenny Rogers, Ronnie Millsap, Travis Tritt, Shania Twain, Patty Loveless, Susie Bogus, Sarah Evans, Keith Whitley, Lori Morgan, Hank Williams Jr., John Michael Montgomery, and Brian Adams. Okay. For groups, it's Alabama, Diamond Rio, IRO Speedwagon, Air Supply, Meatloaf, and the Bee Gees.
All right. And then people want to know...
Wait, did you just say Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Did you just say Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Meatloaf. What do you think of Rick Astley? You know who Rick Astley is?
Yeah, and Rick Astley, I used to like his song that he first came out with, Never Gonna Give You Up. That very first song he came out with.
Yeah, that's a jam, dude. That's really one of the most influential pop songs from the 80s to this day.
Yeah.
I'd
love to hear you sing it, Lorne.
Yeah, that's a good idea for a new music video for you. Mm-hmm. You could do a acoustic guitar version of it.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'd have to find the music to learn it first before I did.
I think, Ember, between the two of us, we could do some Google searches and find one of those guitar tab websites, and we could send just get the guitar tabs. Oh yeah, can you read music or do you use guitar tabs?
I actually read what the chord is. If I don't know the chord, then I'll learn the chord.
Oh, okay.
But I am going to start learning the frets and all that with it, so I can move my fingers around more. The notes. I started learning the notes once, and then I was anxious to start being able to sing songs with the music, so I just started learning the chords and wound up doing that. Now, when I can find the time, I'm going to start learning the notes all over again.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
That's great. That's really interesting. REO Speedwagon and the Meatloaf and the Bee Gees, that threw me for a loop. I'm glad that are there any other pop bands that you like?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Do you like rap or hip hop?
I like them, but I don't prefer them.
I see.
I respect the music because you have to respect every kind of music, because otherwise you're not going to be a very good artist yourself. So you have to kind of sit back and listen to every kind in order to get new ideas and stuff like that.
What about the people who make parodies of songs but include the subjects of, what happened to you in the sting? For example, somebody recently did a song called Me So Lorne after Two Live Crew's Me So Horny. What do you think about that?
I think it's fine as long as nobody's, I don't want to say that. As long as it's not degrading. I see. I'm not big on degrading people because I have my own problems. I don't get through a lot of degrading people.
Okay.
But I think they're fine as long as they're not hurting somebody else in a bad way. I think it's fine.
Good. So then you have a sense of humor then about some of the stuff that's being done, some of the song parodies and some of the videos.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I get a kick out of some of that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Some of it's funny.
All right. The next question would be, they wanted to know about your ancestry.
My ancestry, Irish, Indian, French, and God knows what else.
Oh my goodness! So
yeah, there's a mixture.
A mixture, okay. Only Cawd knows.
I do know that I'm related to Abraham Lincoln. I know that. My aunt did
really?
Genealogy. Yeah, she did genealogy and found that we're related to Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
So
well, maybe you should try a beard.
No.
Okay. The next is, how did you first find out about the Church of Cawd?
I first found out from a letter I received from Korea.
Okay.
And then I was contacted by a person that acted normal, which was Ember, and she told me it was a real thing on the internet. And I was floored by that. But it's still hard for me to grasp why people be so interested in me because I don't feel any different than anyone else. And it's shocking.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to say. I want to interject because you said you before Ember contacted you, you had gotten contacted by other people as well.
Yes, I had.
Yeah, and you never replied to any of those other people. Ember's the first person that contacted you that you replied to.
Yeah. She was on. There was a couple other people that acted basically normal and sent some decent letters. There were some other letters were just completely ignorant. So there was no way I would reply to them people anyway, even though they asked me to reply to them.
Right. So
there was no way I would reply to.
Yeah. There's a segment of individuals who are in this community who follow all this stuff who are, I think, at least this is what they say, in the forums or whatever, is that there was, before any of us had spoken to you and before any of us knew what you were doing, at the time we were all just speculating, like, Lorne he's got to live in a trailer with a hole in the ground for a bathroom and no electricity, and he's just sitting there looking at the computer, pissed off every day, flagging videos and reporting shit. And, so at that point, it was just left to speculation. But there was one thing a lot of people had talked about, was like a no contact rule. Like, don't contact Lorne. It's like, it's one thing to sit here and make all these jokes and do all this shit, but like, don't contact the guy. It's like crossing the line. So a lot of people, I think, are pissed at Ember because, she went and contacted you. But the reality of the situation is she was not the first person to do that. There were numerous
No,
people.
she's not the first person to do that.
Yeah, there were numerous
She was the last person to do that because I contacted her back because she was the only one with a normal approach that acted, in a decent way. Other than there were some, like I said, there were some others that did act decent and all that, but I never felt the need to contact them.
Right.
And with Ember's approach, it was the way she approached me was somebody that actually cared.
Right.
And so that I figured I owed her at least a thank you for the way she approached me, and I don't regret at all
Contacting her
Ember.
back. So,
yeah.
So and that's just...
That's probably, there's a, like they say, God works in mysterious ways, and there's a reason for everything.
Yeah, so, I mean, let the record state then, or let the record show that, Ember was by far not the only person that ever tried to contact Lorne in violation of the sort of like no contact rule. Other people had contacted you, numerous people, but she was the first person that you replied to.
There was 7 or 8 different people that had contacted me before her.
Yeah. On that note, sorry, Amber. On that note, did you get a lot of birthday cards in the mail last year for your birthday?
I got letters in the mail.
Wishing you a happy birthday. Did any of them seem genuine, at least?
No.
Oh.
Well, a couple seemed genuine, but there was a couple that was just ignorant.
Would you care to share any of the contents of the ignorant ones that you received?
No. No, I'll pass on that.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather me have never told you about the Church of Cawd? Would you rather have not known about it? Because now that you're exposed to...
That was something I needed to know about.
But I want to let you know and everybody else know, I've exposed you to not only the positive stuff. So you know pretty much that there are a group of people who don't feel very positively about you, and they say things about you that are insulting, and I'm sharing that with you. And some people feel that was inappropriate, that you don't really need to know that,
Nope.
and it's kind of torturing you further. And I want to know how you feel about that, honestly.
I need to know the bad stuff as well as the good stuff.
But do you need to know any of it? Do you think you would have been better off?
No, I don't think I would have been better off. I think I'm better off knowing about it because it has to do with me. And I mean, if you look at what it was then, you look at what it is now. It seems like everybody was doing all that stuff just to get my attention, to get me out in the public. Then I come out in the public, and the Church of Cawd is pretty much null and void. I mean, the only ones that I know of being in there are the people that hate and just want to hate because they have nothing else to do, and they spend all the time on the computer and just have no life. And
do you think they need counseling to get off the internet?
I feel sorry for those people. I do believe they need counseling to get off the internet, or they need to find a way to get off the internet themselves and get out and do something away from that screen, because that screen is very overruling. It can very much tie you down. It's addictive. It's just like a drug. It's no different at all than a drug. I know because I used to be on it all the time too. Mm-hmm. Once I got away from that, there's no way that I could be happier by being away from that. And I actually found out that I do have a life, mm-hmm. and it's not on the internet.
So you don't get online at all anymore?
No.
Is there like a part of you that wishes you could just go on the internet? Let's just say to do simple mundane stuff like, oh, I want to check and see what the weather's going to be, and you don't want to wait until the newspaper shows up or the news comes on that you could, see that. Like, you want to know. Are there ever any times that you wish you could just get on the internet for like 5 minutes just to check the weather? Maybe check a sports score or read about who won the primary last night or whatever. I mean, are there times you wish you could do that, or do you just not care or miss that at all?
Nope. Don't miss it at all. The weather, I like watching the weather on TV. That's actually the biggest part of the news that I like seeing. I don't like missing the weather because uh, I drive trucks, so it's good for me to know what the next day is going to be like. So I try very hard to not miss the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So
And if I miss it, I miss it. So
has the Church of Cawd website had any effect on your life, or has the Church of Cawd community had any effect on your life, in your personal life, or in your community?
Yeah, it has. There's let me see. How do I explain that? Okay, with me not knowing about it, I had no way to defend myself against anyone. And I didn't think I needed to because I didn't know anything about it. When I found out about it, it's like I got in total defense, and it was upsetting because to think that, that people would make negative videos about somebody they don't even know other than what they saw on what they were shown by NBC. And what you were shown by NBC was not even close to the story. So
do you have to talk
NBC,
about it, though, to people? I mean, do people in your community approach you about it? How do your friends and family?
No, I do talk to people about it. Actually, there's a lot of people that I need to give thanks for keeping me, or for getting me to figure out what went wrong with me. It's my mom and the rest of my family and my probation officer and my counselor and the class that I go to and my therapist, and there's really a lot of people amount of people to thank for getting me where I am now, to figuring out that it's all right to say the word no. And that's what my major problem was before, is I couldn't say the word no. And that's what led to the whole thing be getting caught up in that. As for my community knowing about it, as far as I know right now, not many people know about it, but it's coming out. It's just a matter of time before most people, if not everybody, knows about it. It's people have the internet, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's just upsetting that people believe the very first thing that they hear instead of waiting to hear the other side of the story.
Right. Did you, some time ago, I don't remember who it was, but someone had posted publicly some of your family members' personal information, like address and all that. How did you feel about that?
I was royally pissed off.
Yeah.
I think that guy is about the biggest loser there ever was. That's the lowest thing that anybody could ever do. You don't especially don't post people's name on there that are completely innocent of anything, and especially when it's somebody's mother. And he kind of shows you what kind of low life the person is.
Yeah. Understand. Because your mom had nothing to do with anything, right? I mean, you were the one that, she didn't have any role in
what I went through hurt my mother a lot.
Right.
And, that hurt me a lot, knowing that it was going to hurt her a lot. Mm-hmm. And she's already been through hell in her life, and she certainly didn't need some loser to post her information on the internet for the whole world to see. That's just disgusting.
Now, let me ask you as a follow-up to that. After that was posted, did any of your family members receive any kind of contact, or was it just kind of like it got posted?
No.
No.
Somebody had sent an email to a family member of mine, and that was pretty upsetting because my family is completely innocent of anything that I did. If you want to harass me, harass me. You don't harass people that are innocent of anything or that have nothing to do with it. It's just complete ignorance.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. Let me ask you this then. Do you have any stories to share about the other guys from the sting?
No, because they make themselves out to be fools enough, and I don't want to help them out. No, I'll leave all the other stories about that and anybody else from this thing out of it. It's really not my place to tell stories about them when, they've gone through a hard time too, having to go through this thing.
Were any of them jerks with you?
So, no, they can't really say they were jerks. They dumbasses maybe. But as for being jerks, not really. They I don't know. I don't really know how to explain that. It's the closest I can say is some dumbasses.
Oh, that's okay. How about another question is, do you plan to live in Maine permanently?
I can't say that for sure. I plan to, yes, but plans change. As life goes on, plans change.
All right. And how much can you bench?
I don't know. I broke my wrist when I was in the Air Force, so it looked like I had 2 wrists. The military doctor never reset it right, so it hurts my wrist when I try to bench press. So I don't try to bench press.
Oh, okay, interesting. How did you hurt your wrist?
I was playing basketball and on break, and they had a guy that was 6'1", and because I was the only one that could jump as high as he could, or close to as high as he could, and so when he faked me out like he was going to go up for a shot, and when I jumped up, he bent down, and his rear end kicked my feet out from underneath me, and I went right over the top of him.
Oh, okay. All right. The next question. What are your views on Chris Hansen?
I'm going to pass it right now. You can ask me that question at a later date.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You do want to share anything? Do you think he's a good person for doing what he's trying, what he's doing?
I'm not going to share anything right now.
Okay.
I will tell you at a later date. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. How about this? Who was the first person you called from jail?
A family member. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't mean to disappoint people, but I'm not going to specify.
Did you explain everything? Did you explain everything, or did you just ask for support, or what was that first phone call like?
I explained everything that I could explain in 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's all I had was 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did you have, during your time either in Kentucky or New Jersey, did you have any visitors?
Yes, I did. Yes, my mom and my uncle came to visit me when I was in Kentucky one time. There was a couple others that wanted to come visit me, but I asked them not to.
Gotcha.
Yes, I did. That's where I give thanks to, my mom and the rest of my family and my counselor, my probation officer, my therapist, and friends around me, and now everybody that's that's on the internet, that's behind me on my apology and all that.
Uh-huh.
It's without that help, it would be hard for me to be able to figure out on my own where I went wrong, what exactly happened, and all that.
So do you consider yourself after you got out? Do you consider yourself as having like a pretty decent support network? I mean, you mentioned all these various people.
Very, and I'm probably luckier than most people on that because I've had an extremely good support system,
Right.
and a group of people that just really amaze me with the support. And I really believe that I am a lot luckier than most people. If most people had the support system behind them that I do, they'd have a better chance of making it.
Did you kind of go back to a topic that we got into a little earlier? You had mentioned when you got out, initially it was you didn't want to leave the house. You had issues with going out in public. So when you got out, you came back to Maine, and Maine's a pretty rural place, right? I mean, you live in a small town.
Yeah.
One of those places everyone knows everyone else, right? So were you, when you got back up there, and then when you finally started like getting out and like doing, going and trying to have a daily, like a normal daily routine and all that kind of stuff, were you nervous or, afraid that people might, see you and know about what had went down? And were you worried about like getting reactions, like negative reactions from people around town? You go to the store, the clerk like, "Hey, I know you asshole," or something like that. Were you afraid?
I constantly wonder if somebody new has found out what I've been through and all that. I try hard not to think about it, but it still pops in my head.
Right.
But I try not to let it hold me back. But now it's kind of like I have to go about doing things a different way because how do I answer that? I have to go about doing things a different way now because I don't want people seeing me in a light that was shown to me by a television show that edited a lot of things.
Well, let me ask you this then, Lorne. How would you react to somebody who approaches you asking for an autograph?
I'd give them an autograph. That doesn't bother me at all to give them an autograph.
So would you stop and have a conversation with somebody who might identify themselves as a supporter of yours?
I would. I was talking to have a conversation with somebody that wasn't a supporter, as long as there was an intelligent conversation.
And on a related note to the question that I asked you about, if you were nervous about, being a small town, someone recognizing you and having some kind of negative reaction, did you actually encounter any of that when you got back?
No, surprisingly enough, nobody has said anything. They may have known, but they've never come up to me and told me to my face that they recognized me from the show. And as for the longest time, all I've known is a small group of people who knew about it that I was actually friends with before I left Maine. And went down to Nashville. But other than that, what I don't know doesn't hurt me either. So, but what I do know is makes it a little bit better because that way, if people know, then they can at least come up and ask me about it and give me my chance to explain my side.
Okay.
So they don't just take NBC side and judge me off of that.
Got it. All right. Is there something else that you want to ask Josh, or is there anything that you'd like to add, Lorne?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for reaching out and letting us do this for you. I appreciate it. And best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
You told the decoy that you were going to buy condoms so you wouldn't get her pregnant, and then you went and bought condoms, and then you went to see her. Did you think that you were going to have sex with her?
Of course he fucking did.
Why do you keep asking me the same question over and over and over again? So you see how many answers you can get?
No, because it bothers me. I want to like you and be your friend and all of that. And it's very conflicting for me, as somebody who was abused, to hear somebody deny it, like my abuser denied it. And that's just personally, and it's just contradictory. It bothers me a lot.
It's not easy for me to explain them.
I know, but
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to have sex with her.
But why did you even go over there, sex or otherwise? Why?
Oh, I don't know, because I didn't want to go there. And on the way there, I wanted to turn around. You're asking me a question that it's...
I'm just trying to process your answer. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm being quiet because I'm processing your answer. Like, seriously, dude, fucking, like, I get it. It's fine. You had your reasons for doing that. But honestly...
But the question that you're asking me, I'm still trying to process the question you're asking me, because I don't know. I literally don't know.
How do you not know? 10 years later?
I don't know. That's all I can say is I don't know.
After all this
I
introspection
know. I was
and
fucked
stuff,
up at the time. I was very fucked up at the time.
But I mean, after all this introspection,
Jesus.
do we need to stop? Like, we can stop. It's fine. Like, I had, this was my last question. After all the introspection, though, all the time you've had to, like, look inwards and be like, hey, like, this is what I've done wrong in my life. This is what I've done right in my life. Something about this didn't say, hey, look, hey, there was something I did here that I shouldn't have done. That hasn't happened.
I knew that what I did was something I shouldn't have done. But I also knew that what I did was something I did not want to do. And I knew that they had talked me into doing what I did not want to do.
But you showed up at the
For 9
house.
years, for 9 years, I concentrated on shit that they talked me into doing what I did not want to do. Because I knew I did not want to go there. I did not want to be any part of that stuff. For me to answer questions that you guys are asking me, it's hard for me to answer them because I didn't want to be there to begin with.
Hey, bro.
I say that time and time and again. It's so fucking hard for me to answer questions because people don't understand. I did not want to go there.
But you went there, Lorne. You went there. And
I went there.
You didn't just go there.
I went there, but it wasn't me there.
Look, dude. At the end of the day, you went there. It wasn't just like a little incidental, like, whatever. I went and kind of crossed the line. You were there. You were talking about
okay,
Mr. Penis.
Let me ask you to
Mr.
this.
Penis. Mr. Penis.
Let me ask you to this.
Penis talk.
Let me ask you to this. What is the answer you're looking for from me? The only answer I can give you is the answer that is in my head that I know.
All I want to know is just, like, please just tell me, like, hey, I acknowledge I fucked up at some point during this whole process. That's all I want to hear.
How many times do I have to say that, though, for you to understand that I know I fucked up?
All right, Ember,
I've said it in plain words, and you still want those same words from me.
Are we beating up on him too much? Are we really, like, seriously, like, he's acknowledging some stuff.
You're not beating up on me.
No.
is I'm repeating myself.
It was a bad choice
you
of
asked
words
me
on
the
my
same
part.
question,
Bad choice of-
and I don't know how to explain some stuff. I know what you're saying, and I understand that it is hard for other people to understand what was in my head at the time. I can understand that it is very hard for other people to understand what was in my head at the time, because I don't even understand what was in my head at the time. I don't have the influences in my life. And at the time, the 13-year-old, it wasn't even a 13-year-old to me. It was somebody that showed that they cared about me.
I know.
And
So,
that's the thing.
and you would have gone
But
over there.
But I've got like completely different influences in my life now that
Yeah.
have been able to get me back to the person that I am. And back to normality. Well, what should have been fucking normality ever since I was a kid. I've never had that normality. It's taken a lot to get me back there. It's taken 4 years to get me back there.
Lorne, at the end of the day, anything you've experienced as a youngster does not excuse anything you've done as an adult. And I hope you understand that there's a distinction there.
The problem is that even what I experienced as a youngster, the using got carried into adulthood.
All right, so I apologize, guys.
They didn't stop when I was young.
All right, guys.
They kept going right up to my adulthood.
No, that's unfortunate. Guys, I have to go.
Even my mother.
No.
Hold on, Lorne.
So a bowl's more important than your better friends.
Lorne, I've been talking to you for a good part of the last hour and a half.